Is ChatGPT private? The answer is it depends. And it depends on exactly two things. The first is, what do you mean when you say private? Are you asking if strangers can see your chats? If OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, can see your chats? Or if OpenAI is using your chats to train their AI models? And the second thing it depends on is which version of ChatGPT you're using, because there are actually multiple versions behind that one logo, and which one you're using affects your privacy. In the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you how to answer both of those questions so you know exactly what's happening to your data when you use ChatGPT. Let's get into it. Let's start by looking at what you mean when you say private. Are you asking if people outside of OpenAI, the company that makes ChatGPT, can see your chats? If you're using the regular version of ChatGPT that most people use, the answer is no. But if you're on a work account that the employer has signed up for on your behalf via an enterprise contract, the answer is likely yes. The employer can see everything in your ChatGPT if they want to, and you should act accordingly. Can OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, see your chats? The answer to this question is yes. And because of this, there are technically 3 things they can do once they have your data. The first is they can keep it, even if you delete it. The second is they can have a human review it. And the third is they can learn from it, including using it to train their AI models. But just because they can do these things, whether or not they will depends on the settings you choose, the version of ChatGPT you're running, and the laws and regulations they're required to follow. Let's start with the version. If you did not get your ChatGPT account from an employer, you're almost definitely using the personal version of ChatGPT, which is what the majority of people are using. In this case, the same things apply for both the free and paid versions of ChatGPT. Training and memory are on by default, which means OpenAI can use your data to train their AI models and to build a memory of how you use ChatGPT to personalize your chats in the future. Then there's the same version with the switches turned off. OpenAI gives you the ability to switch off training in the settings in your ChatGPT so they won't train on your data, and also to turn off memory so they won't build a personal profile of you to help personalize your chats in the future. And then you can use temporary chats, which is like incognito mode for ChatGPT, where your chats aren't saved to your chat history, your memory, and they aren't used for training. Although OpenAI may keep a copy briefly for safety review. And then there are ChatGPT business and enterprise accounts where OpenAI does not train on data at all. And if you have one of these accounts through your employer, you should assume that they do have access to your accounts just like they would other software offered by the company to you, and you should act accordingly. And then there's the API, which allows you to use those same models offered in ChatGPT in other software. In this case, there is no training by OpenAI on these chats. However, you now have another software vendor in the equation, potentially the one that is offering you the service via the API, and you need to review their privacy policy to see what's happening with your data. So you should now have a good understanding of what's happening with your data when you use ChatGPT. I've included a link to ChatGPT's privacy policy in the description in this video, and you should check there to see if anything's changed between the time this video was recorded and the time that you're watching this. I've also included a link to my free guide to local AI, which shows you how to set up an AI system that runs completely privately on your computer without even needing an internet connection in the description. And finally, I've included a link to my full guide to AI privacy, with step-by-step instructions and details on how to check the privacy settings on any AI system. And before you go, most people think about their chats when they're thinking about AI privacy, but I would argue that your memory and your context is the more important thing to keep private, and I'm going to show you how in the next video. I'll see you there.